Hey Michael, this is a late night demo video for you for your Ezra. Forget what Saberforge calls it, the Adept. You and I have been through the ringer with this thing, trying to get you a hilt that works. I mean, first it was yours that we couldn't open, and then Saberforge telling you that they thread locked your middle piece on purpose, or your pommel on purpose. And then getting this from another guy who I had installed this for. This is actually the third time I've installed this particular hilt, so I'm very familiar with it. You know, one thing that I could say is just to watch your battery orientation. It's very easy to do, to get mixed up, because I don't have a positive and negative sign on my chassis. I have started doing that going forward. I've always made a habit of just making my positive end of my battery go towards my speaker. But let's talk about your hilt. Here's your blade plug. It's not lighting up. It came to me damaged. I'm not sure what happened to it. I have heard the story of when the previous owner caught this on fire from putting the blade in backward, or the battery in backwards, and he threw it. I don't know if that has anything to do with your blade plug not working, but I'll send this to you. It's just not lighting up. So there's that. Also, when it came to me, and the other two times I had installed it, it had a red anodized button right here. That button was non-functional when I got it here this last time from you. It did not plunge for whatever reason. So I tried to see what I could do about fixing it. It got to the point where I felt like I wasn't going to give you a quality product if I gave you a button that I had to keep fiddling with. So I put this one in. It's very nice. Got it from Smuggler's Outpost on Etsy. I have a couple of these laying around, not knowing when I need to use it, but it came in perfect for this hilt. So it fits nice and snug in there, and it's a nice press. So let's open it up. One thing about this is your middle piece on this will unscrew if you're not, if you try to like crank on it right here. I did give it a nice tight, I tightened it pretty tight with my hands between this piece and this piece. I didn't glue it, but you don't want to untwist these two pieces. It's just this bottom piece right here that untwists, and it untwists pretty easy, just like that. You shouldn't have any problem. I printed you a whole new chassis. I did not reuse the last one. I think I threw it away. Yeah, I mean, it was, the board was fried and there was a hole burnt right through it. So we just went ahead and got rid of that. New chassis. Nothing up top. Removable battery system right here. Like I said, I don't have a positive and negative sign in there, but your positive end always goes towards your speaker. Previous owner had requested a bass speaker in here, and I did put one in there and it blew. So I talked to you about it before, but I did exactly what we talked about. Is I went with a 28mm premium speaker. It sounds amazing in here, and it won't blow on you. So that's what we've got. I'll be sending you this battery from Vader's Vault. One thing about this battery is it's a tight fit into this chassis. Until you wear in these battery terminals a little bit and they start getting used to the battery coming in and out, and they start, getting a little further apart from each other, it's going to be tight. So what you want to do, first you want to make sure you're putting your positive end towards the speaker, but you want to make sure you secure the chassis with your hand here pretty firm while you put the battery in like this.
I've got a feeling that things are about to get pretty nasty around here.
You could hear it snap in. That is a tight fit. So it's not going anywhere on you. It won't fall out. It is super even with the profile of the chassis. And I'm going to do a little something extra on this video. When we're done demoing it, I'm going to take the pommel back off, and I'm going to show you how I get this battery out, so that hopefully that helps you. I know the previous owner one time had fried the board just by sticking a piece of metal in between the battery terminal and the positive end of the battery when it was in. So don't do that, but we'll go over that. Slide your chassis on. We're going to do a few, we're going to test some things before I put a blade in. I don't have a full length blade. This takes a 1-inch diameter blade. I do have this test blade, and you can see everything on this test blade that you'd see on a full-length blade. So we'll just do that here in a moment. But it's a one-button setup, so everything's controlled right here. It does have smooth swing. Turn it off. Just hold the button down and turn it off. You have a set screw right here for your blade retention. My printer just got done, so it'll be a little quieter while we go through this. But you can see your pogo pins in here. The 7-pin PCB is the only piece that I reused on this hilt. Everything else got gutted and replaced. But there was no sense in me taking off or throwing away this PCB. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I even rewired it, so it's got brand new wires. It just, that piece was still good, so that's what we went with. I'm going to turn the light off. We'll tap the button to turn it on. Tap the button for your blaster deflex. When you're holding the button down, as you hold the button down and you tap the blade, you'll get blade lockup. And then when you let go of the blade, it'll stop. When you want to change color while the blade is on, hold the button and twist your wrist. Spectrum. Now you can actually twist your hilt like this, and you can cycle through a bunch of different colors. And then whenever you get to a color that you like, just tap the button. And there you go. And when you, as long as the battery stays in and you turn it off, it will remember that color when you turn it back on. Mute. Even when you mute it. I didn't mean to mute it. So we'll tap that button again. There we go. Now to get to your blade effects, I gave you 31 different blade effects on here. Hold the button and twist your wrist like you would for color, but then keep the button down.
Spectrum.
Hold it down.
Blade profiles.
Blade profiles. Now you can twist the hilt again and cycle through all kinds of different blade effects. We'll go through a few of them so you can see what I'm talking about. Lots of cool ones on here. Everybody likes a good solid blade too, but you got lots of different stuff going on here. When you find one you like, just tap the button. Unstable blade. Pretty sweet. And then again, as long as the battery stays in and you turn off the blade, it's going to remember that blade color and that blade effect on that particular font. Just like that. So we'll turn the light on. We'll turn it off. And we'll go over your sound fonts. So another thing that I did was, because it's so hard to get to your board, you can get to your board if you needed to, but how you would do that is, there's a set screw right here, that's holding my whole chassis in, and your board is located about right here in the hilt. So if you really had to, you could loosen that set screw and very gently work this back and forth in a circular motion out. It only will come out as far as where you can see your board. But what I did to compensate that is I loaded you up with sound fonts and I loaded you up with blade profiles, so there shouldn't really even be a reason to get to the board. It should come to you ready to go. Hopefully you're happy with it. This should keep you going for a long time, and you should never think about getting to the board. But to get to your sound fonts when the blade is off, hold down this button.
Sound bank selection.
And then you could cycle through with this button.
This part is always. Well,
These are all different fonts.
I'm never touching General Monday. Formally done. I claim this. He's been working on that thing for... The Force will be with you.
When you find one you like, hold the button down.
With the blast shield down, I can't even see. How am I supposed to fight?
Now, something I forgot to show you when the blade was in is that a lot of these fonts have music tracks. So you can just double tap the button when the blade is off.
May not look like much, but she's got it where it counts.
Let's find one that does. Not all of them do.
Soundtrack selection.
The Force. Legacy. What is thy bidding? As you wish, my master.
I am going to get to one so that I can show you what I'm talking about.
Soundbank selection.
What is thy... I have blitzed. Don't insult. Jedi, prepare. Second sister. Our time has come. Corellia. Page black.
Ayla Sakura reporting for duty. There are ways those who have passed on may still guide or influence.
There you go. I double tap the button to get that music to play on that sound font. While that music's playing, you can turn the blade on, you can do everything you want. And then when you get tired of it, when the blade's off, just double tap again. Just like that. So you load it up, you'll see when you get it. So let's talk about taking the blade out. I've got a pair of tweezers over here that have kind of a thick rubber coating on them. They don't have any exposed metal, so I do use them. I probably shouldn't, but I know, like, I've been doing, like, I mess with these every day, so I have kind of a rhythm. You really need something, a hard plastic, like a Lego, or just anything, a thin hard plastic, because what you want to do is you want to come up on the corner of this positive piece of the battery while you're holding the chassis firmly and just kind of pry it out. See if I can do this. Just like that. And then don't drop your battery. But it's a little bit of an effort to just pry that out nice and neat. Like I said, until those battery terminals get worn a little bit. But you don't want loose battery terminals anyway. You don't want the battery flopping around while the pommel's on. And then, you know, maybe starting over while you're in the middle of getting wild and swinging this thing. I don't know, whatever you're going to do with it. But that's your hilt. That's what I did to it. That's the history. All done. I'm going to load this up on YouTube, send it your way. I hope you're happy. Thanks for letting me do this for you. Thanks.